You're listening to For the Republic, a love letter to Star Wars animation.
It has been 3 years since our last Star Wars movie hit theaters, but today we got a little bit more insight on what we might be seeing the next time we go to the big screen for a galaxy far, far away. I am Andrew from For the Republic, and let's break down this big news about our next Star Wars film. So a couple days ago, it was reported that Damon Lindelof, known for Lost and the Watchmen show on HBO, was set to write a new Star Wars movie. I feel like this movie's been going pretty much under the radar in terms of development, but we finally got some big news these past few days. We know that Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who directed 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel, is on board to direct, and we know Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson are penning the screenplay together. We also now know that this movie is apparently going to be set after the Rise of Skywalker, which means it's going to be the first time we see, at least on screen, post-Sequel Trilogy content. We also apparently know that Sequel Trilogy characters may be included in the film, which means characters like Rey, Finn, Poe Dameron, we might finally get to see them again after 3 years of pretty much nothing with the characters, and I have very much missed them personally. The Hollywood Reporter is the one that reported all of this. I'm going to leave a link to the article in the description of this video. It also talks about a secret writer's room that was involved that Dave Filoni may have been involved with. So we at least know that Ahsoka Tano somehow is going to show up in this movie. I, for one, like pretty much everything discussed here. I think getting fresh new voices involved with the creative process is a great move. We're seeing that work off tremendously so far with Andor, and I'm very excited to see new writers and new directors getting to helm the next Star Wars film. I am a bit pessimistic about this news considering the bad luck we've had with announcements about upcoming Star Wars films pretty much since Episode 9 came out. It's been, we'll announce this, and then it'll stall. We have Rogue Squadron, and then that's stalled. We've got Taika's movie, and then we haven't heard much about that lately. So I'm hoping that Lindelof's film sticks with the development, and we get to see it maybe with that 2024, 2025 window. I'm just crossing my fingers. But what do you want to see here? If we see Sequel Trilogy characters return, do you want to see Finn training as a Jedi? Because I sure do. Would you just like to see them show up as supporting characters to our next wave of new characters? I am very much interested in seeing how these characters' stories can be told outside of the realms of the Skywalker saga. Tell new stuff with them, with new creatives and new minds, and I think it's going to turn out really, really cool. And personally, I cannot wait to see Finn and Rey and Poe and the whole gang again. Please, 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 please. Oh yeah, and very, very appropriate for this video. Where do you think the story for this movie is going to go? Do you think this is finally going to break the curse of Star Wars movies being announced and them just stalling out until we stop hearing anything about them? And what would you like to see for this movie? If you're interested, I did a couple months ago write an article on sweditorig.com about my dream stories featuring Sequel Trilogy characters. If you want to check that out, I will leave that in the description. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter at ForTheRepubPod, on Instagram at ForTheRepublicPod. We have a new episode coming up later this week discussing the Clone Wars episode Trespass, and we also will have coverage of Andor and Tales of the Jedi on the way as well. So until then, see you guys later, and may the Force be with you. Always.